This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so in last class, we have seen about how we can implement the customer exit, right? We have seen the process, how to implement the customer exit. Once again, I'm going to make you revise over here how we can implement. So we have taken one example. We have taken one example where ship to party under the transaction VA01, it was populating automatically. Okay, so let's log into the system, go to the VA01, and here we defined a very simple example, very simple case, use case, where we are supposed to populate automatically the sold to party or ship to party. Okay, any one of these, we will see which one we can populate. Okay, so press F1 over here and go to the technical information, and here you can see the field name is Kunar, KUWEV-KUNNR. Okay, so this particular ship to party, again I'm pressing F1 and I'm showing over here that it's a KUWEV-Kunar. Let's note it down, this particular field name in some notepad. I have noted it down. Close this one. Here the ship to party just I have checked, it's a Kunar. Sold to party, I'm just going to check once again over here. Go to this technical settings, and this is also KUAGV-Kunar, right? So both is having the same, field name is same, but the structure name is different. You can see KUAGV here and here KUWEV. So we are not sure over here which one we can populate automatically because both is KUNNR, right? So what we can do that, let's go to that particular user customer exit, right? This is the customer exit we have identified. We created one project. Under that project we have implemented this customer exit, right? We have created one project using the transaction CMOD, and under that project we have implemented a customer exit, right? So this is the name of the function module which have been used inside the customer exit, right? Exit underscore SAP MB45A underscore 002. This is the naming convention. Exit underscore the calling program. SAP MB45A is the calling program, right? You can see that this is the program which is calling this particular customer exit, right? Here you can see the program. And then this is the name of the exit represented by the 3-digit number. Okay, fine. So we'll go to directly this particular function module, and there we will write some piece of code and we will check which particular value it is going to populate. Okay, or else as a workaround directly in debugging, we can pass the value and we will check which particular value it's populating, right? What I will do that I will go back. Okay, press once again enter, and you can see that it's stopping over here. What is the export parameter? You can see it over here under this global, right? You can click on this global value. I think no, in the local value you can click over here, and you can see that what value you can access inside this particular function module. Okay, you can click on these locals. Okay, you can click on these locals and you can check over here what structure you can access and which particular value you can modify. Okay, I'm clicking on this desktop 2 so that I can see this view completely. I'm clicking on this desktop 2. No, we'll have to click on this desktop 3 so we can see the variable view. Desktop 2 is showing about the stack view, how the call has been progressed. This transaction has called this PBO has called this PBO subscreen, this PBO subscreen has called like this. This stack is showing, desktop 3 is showing the complete view about this variable, and the standard shows both the view, stack view and the variable view. Okay, so sometimes in interview they also ask what's the difference between desktop 2, desktop 3 and the standard. Generally this desktop 2, desktop 3 and the standard one, right? Desktop all one, you can see the only layout is getting changed and your variable you are having at the bottom, right? So mostly we are going to use desktop 2, desktop 3 or a standard. Fine, go to the locals, and here we can see what are the variable we can access, what are the value we can access. So this is the importing parameter, this is the importing, wherever the I is there, and here you can see the symbol, here you can see the symbol, it is showing that importing parameter, and this is the value for the exporting parameter. So suppose based upon some condition, if you want to write the logic, okay, so based upon some condition you want to see what are the value from, you know, a screen is coming, you can go and check out by double clicking this import parameter. Double click on this and let us see. You can see that AURT is coming, KOPGR is coming, G2 is coming, all this value is coming, right? So if you want to do manipulation, it is possible. So this is field for the I underscore TVAK. Okay, this is field for TVAK. Based upon this AUART type, I'm going to write the logic. Very simple logic. It can be complex as well. Control V, I'm just noting it down. AUART, AUART. And what is the structure name? The structure name is I underscore TVAK. Okay, Control V hyphen. Now, once again, go to this desktop 3. Similarly, you have another import parameter. Here also you can see, here there is no value. Here there is no value. TVTA is no value. VKBUR, this is again the field, a single field, character type, there is no value. VKGRP, there is no value. Here only we are having the value. This value we can utilize for our purpose. And this is the exporting parameter. This value, E underscore Kunar value, we can pass it. Okay, double click on this. I'm just going to change some value over here. For example, just I'm going to give 1 to 3. Okay, and I will see which particular value is going to populate over there, right? So press F8 and you can see the 1 to 3 is coming over here. Shoulder to party we can populate automatically with the help of customer exit. So this is how we can identify. So this is the only way. You have to do multiple hit and trial, and with the help of that you can identify which particular customer exit is going to fulfill your requirement. You know, you have to do this hit and trial. There is no another way. There is no other way. You have to, you know, you have to look into this variable. You have to look into the multiple customer exit. Okay, if your requirement is something different, you have to look out the list of customer exit. You have to read the descriptions. You have to guess which is going to fulfill. You have to test it by putting the breakpoint over there, and you have to see whether that is going to fulfill our purpose or not. Once again, I'm going to show you what I have done. Press enter over here. Okay, and this is the breakpoint it is triggering, because in last class we have written the breakpoint under this customer exit, right? Go to this desktop, and desktop 2 I'm going, just I want to see how the stack is flowing. So this is the main program. Double click on this main program, and here from here it is navigating, right? So even you can put the breakpoint directly over here without implementing the customer exit if you just want to. And in the last class, that's what we have done, right? In the last class, that's what we have done. We have first put the breakpoint over here, and we have seen how this value is getting, you know, whether this particular customer function is coming under the flow or not. Okay, so because it came under the flow, so what I did that I have implemented one customer exit with the help of a project, and then I have written a code over there, and the code is nothing but the breakpoint, right? This is the breakpoint code we have written. I'm going to copy this particular exit, paste it over here. Why I'm copying? Because I will just directly go over there and I will, you know, I will write the code. Okay, come over here, just go back, go to SE37/N SE37. You know how to identify the customer exit, right? You know how to identify the customer exit, right? So once again, I'm just going to show how to identify. If you suppose forget, it will be good for you to remember. Okay, so /n smart, very important interview question, how to identify the customer exit. Okay, how to identify the customer exit. Okay, so here you have to click on this F4 button and information system. Then you'll have to give the package name. Package name, how to identify for VA01, you can go to SE93 transaction and you can give the package name directly. You can give the transaction name over there directly, and then from there you can identify the package. This is one way, very easy way. This is very easy way. You can go to SE93 and you can give the VA01 over here, go to display, and you can get this package name over here. Or else you can go to the program, and from there you can click on the status, and from there also you can go to attribute, and from there you can find. Okay, that we have seen multiple times, but this is the very easy one which we have just seen. Here you can see that predefined show to party in sales document, it is there, right? Double click over here, click on this display button, click on this component, right? And here this is the function module exit. Double click over here. Okay, and here under this we have written the code, this breakpoint, right? And if we have to implement this particular function mod, if this particular customer exit, which is the transaction, we have the transaction called cmod. Okay, so we can go over here, and the project in last class we have created ZMB28 April. So for one customer exit, we can create only one project. Okay, more than one project will not be allowed. This is also one very important interview question, that can we implement one customer exit into multiple project? We have to tell no, it is not possible. Okay, click on these components, and here you can see that it's already activated. If you want to deactivate, you can deactivate by click on this button. It got deactivated. So now what will happen, you will not be able to what will happen in this case. In this case, it will not trigger it will not trigger that breakpoint. It will not call that particular customer exit code which we have written. Okay, so if I press enter now, that breakpoint will not be called. You can see that it's not getting called. Once again, I'm going to activate it and I will show you. Now if you press enter, just run this T code, you can see every time whenever we do some changes, this program is getting compiled and activated every time. Press enter and this time it will stop over there. You can see it's getting stopped. Okay, so this this is also very important part over here. This should be in green status, then only that customer exit will work. If you want to switch off, you don't want to get your exit called, you don't want get your custom enhancement called, you can deactivate from here. Okay, fine. So we have seen how to implement the customer exit, right? Now we will write some code in the customer exit. I have double clicked over there, go into the change mode, click on this OK button. Here double click on this include, come over here, and we'll write the code. Very simple code, one-liner code. I will just write it over here and copy this. What I'm trying to do, that if the type of the sales order is equal to G2, I want it get populated automatically. Which field? E underscore Kunar it was, right? E underscore Kunar. It was E underscore Kunar. Okay, that value I want to populate some default value, some default show to party I want to populate 1 2 3 something like that. Okay, and if that's it, pretty printer, check the syntax, activate this one. Our code is now activated. Just go back. From here you can also see what are the importing parameter and what are the exporting parameter, right? So under this include, you have the access of this importing parameter. Just 2 minutes back we have seen under the debugging, that is what under the local variable we were able to see, right? That is what under the local variable we were able to see. So here also you can see the same. I underscore tvak is a very useful where we are getting all the data, right? And that's why under this include I underscore tvak hyphen avert equal to g2 I'm using over here. Activate this one, activate, it got activated. And this time if you create this, if you will go back and if you try to create, press enter, click on this create button, sorry, va01, go to the transaction va01 and press enter. You can see that automatically this 1 2 3 is populating. How? From this code, from this code. So this is how you can do your own enhancement. This is how you can write your own code. Okay, this is the demo system. I'm going to remove this code because this may create for another problem. This may create for the other person. Suppose this system is going to be used by some other people, and if he wants to create the sales order, automatically if 1 2 3 will come, he will get, he will not feel good maybe, because for him this might not be the requirement. So I'm going to deactivate this code and I'm just going to activate so that it will not work. Fine. And now if you go back, this 1 2 3 will not come, right? Now also it's coming. Why it's coming? Because I have to now refresh the transaction. Just go back and refresh this transaction va01, and this time if you try, it should not come. You can see that it's not coming, right? So if you do some enhancement in your program also, in your system also, it's better to remove from there. Okay, so I have just removed it from here. Customer exit we have seen. Customer exit we have seen the difference between customer exit and user exit. Very, very important interview question, the difference between customer exit and difference between customer exit and user exit, right? So just one second, I'm going to read it out. User exit, it is in form of subroutine. It requires the access key. You have the access for the global variable, which is this key. It is only available in sales and distribution module. Customer exit, this is in form of function module. It doesn't require any access key. You don't have access for the global variable. Only you can have the access for the parameters. We have seen the importing parameter and exporting parameter, right? It's available in all the modules. It is not that much risky as user exit. With respect to user exit, it's a very, very less risky, and that's why the reason SAP accepted this. Okay, now we learn about the body. Okay, body. What is this body? Body is also known as the business add-ins. Okay, this is the object-oriented concept. Till now, what we have seen is the procedural concept. It's a conventional concept. Code modification, user exit, customer exit. These all are the, conventional techniques, procedural techniques. Okay. Even the implicit enhancement and explicit enhancement, these all are also the procedural technique. Okay. But I'm going to do that. Before going to body, let me explain you about the implicit enhancement and explicit enhancement. Okay, then we will go to this body. Implicit enhancement and explicit enhancement. What is this? What is this implicit enhancement and explicit enhancement? Okay. So implicit, as its name suggests, implicit enhancement, you can see as its name suggests, this enhancement is there in the code implicitly. This enhancement is there under the code implicitly. Okay. Explicit enhancement means explicitly under the code some enhancement option is given over there. Okay. Explicitly under the code some enhancement option is given over there, and there we can write the code. There we can write the code. Okay. There we can write the code. We have some terminology which we should know. What are the terminology? Okay. What are those terminology? So the terminology is that enhancement section, enhancement point, and enhancement. Just a second. Enhancement section, enhancement point, and then enhancement, spot. These are the terminology we are having for this explicit enhancement mainly. Okay. So for this explicit enhancement, we have the terminology called enhancement section, enhancement section, enhancement spot, and enhancement point. What is this? What is this? Enhancement point. We'll see one by one all these things. Okay. This we will see under this, explicit enhancement. Particularly, we will start with the implicit enhancement and then we'll go to this explicit enhancement. Okay. It's very easy to implement the implicit enhancement. Very, very easy. We have implemented our user exit with the help of implicit enhancement, if you remember, because I was not having the access key. Okay. So what I preferred to use this implicit enhancement. If you don't have the access key, you can also use the implicit enhancement to enhance your code. Okay. So let's take one use case over here. For example, go to the some transaction, maybe MM01 or VA01. Okay. Any transaction you can go and check out its program, what its program is. Okay. Check out its program, the program name, go to this status and double click on this program. You can see that there are multiple, you can see this is the enhancement point. Okay. Here you can see that spots, right? Enhancement point spots. This is the explicit enhancement because here this enhancement point is given under this spot. Okay. Under this spot, this enhancement point is given. So here also you can see that enhancement point, this is known as the explicit enhancement. That means explicitly under the code, SAP has given you the point where you can write the code. So these are the points. Here you can write the code. Okay, here you can write the code. Similarly, if you want to search, here you can say enhancement point. So if you want to search what are the enhancement point given by the SAP, you can click on this search button, click on paste that value enhancement hyphen point. Under the master program, click on this open button. You'll be able to see all the list of enhancement point which is given explicitly by the SAP, and these will be called the explicit enhancement. These are called the explicit enhancement. We'll see how we can implement this one. Okay, how we can implement this one. Let's talk about the implicit. Implicit means you will not be able to see over here. You are not able to see over here. Implicit, you can see that this is a standard program. You are not able to see. Then how you can see that one? How you can see that one? For looking into that, you will have to click on this spiral button. You can see that this spiral button is here. Once you click on this spiral button, okay, Then you can go to edit, or what you can do, you can right click over here, right click, okay, go to the enhancement operation and show implicit enhancement option. Okay, if you click on this, the place where implicit enhancement we can do, that will be denoted by this arrow mark. Okay, arrow mark you will be able to see. So here you can, this is the explicit enhancement, right? This is the explicit enhancement which is over here. You can see under this explicit enhancement also you can do your own implicit enhancement. Under the explicit enhancement, here someone has done implicitly, they have written the code, right, implicitly. So what actually this arrow is telling, under this explicit enhancement you can write your code using the implicit enhancement. Okay, it might be confusing for you. Let's just forget this example. I will show you simple example over here. Let me search it out, some simple example. Everywhere the enhancement point where it is, we are able to see there only it is there, so no problem, no problem, no problem, no problem. But one thing is clear, that wherever this spiral button is there, that means already that implicit enhancement has been done. Enhancement 1, you can see enhancement 1, a spiral button, it is denoting. Okay, it's just this spiral enhancement 9, enhancement 47. So that means the implicit enhancement, that means the implicit enhancement. Okay, go to some function module, there it will be easy for me to show you some SAP standard function module. For example, we can get this BAPI material save data. This is also one function module, right? If you want, this is the SAP standard function module, and if you want to see where you can write the code, so generally in the function module, in beginning you can write the code, here you can write the code, or at last you can also write the code. Okay, in the beginning and at last, last, go to the last, and there you can write the code. So generally these are the 2 points where you can write your code. How to write the code? Generally we don't do, but suppose some requirement comes like that, if you want to enhance the standard code, in that case you can use this implicit enhancement. Okay, you can use this implicit enhancement. Click on this button, spiral button, right, and then right click over here, go to this enhancement operation, show implicit enhancement options. Here you can see that it's telling that you can write your code over here. It's telling that you can write your code over here, right? And at last also that arrow button will come, that it's telling, see, here also you can write your code, because already someone has done some enhancement. Under this enhancement you can write your code, right? So it will tell you that arrow, with the help of arrow you can identify where you can write the code. Here also you can write the code. Okay, it's the explicit enhancement. Here also you can write the code, right? You can see here at last also it's giving. Suppose at last you want to write some code, so how you can do? Same as we have done in the user exit, right? There also we have used the implicit enhancement, right? So what you can do, that this double quotes, double quotes, double quotes you have, you can put the cursor over here, right click over here, and then you can go to this enhancement operation and create implementation. Okay, you have to use this code option or declaration. Generally we use this code option. Okay, there are 2 segments, declaration and code. In declaration part you can declare the variable, but generally we can declare and write the code under this code section itself. Okay, so click on this code and you can create your own enhancement implementation, some z starting with z, something. Here give some value over here, click on this OK button, local object, and your implementation is now ready. Click on this OK and you can write your code over here. Okay, if you want to write some code, if you want to affect the export parameter of this function module, right, you can write the code over here. So that's how the implicit enhancement is so powerful, you can do anything. So where you can see this implicit enhancement, I'm just going to undo this because this is the standard one and it's not good to do any changes. but you can do, and people do a lot. People use this implicit enhancement so frequently because it's so easy to implement. It's so easy to implement. Wherever you require, just go click on this spiral button, and if it is telling you to change over there, just simply right click over here, show implicit enhancement operation, and then you will be able to see the place where you can write the code. Then you can go over here, create implementation, and you can create one enhancement implementation, give the name and all, and then you will be able to see the place where you can write the code. Okay, so it's very simple. That's why it's so popular, the implicit enhancement. Okay, so where you can see the implicit enhancement, where you can see the implicit enhancement. So implicit enhancement, implicit enhancement, where you can see, so implicit enhancement, you can see that if you have the function module, if you have the function module in beginning, generally in beginning, in beginning and at last. Okay, in beginning and at last, you will be able to see. If you have the subroutine, if you have the subroutine, then here also in beginning and at last you can see. If you have the class methods, here also in beginning, generally in beginning and at last, you can do it. You can do it in beginning and at last. What is the benefit by providing in beginning and at last? That you cannot do anywhere your logic. That is very, again, that will become very, very risky, right? If SAP will give you the freedom to change the code anywhere, then we can end up with doing the wrong thing. That's why generally in beginning and at last, it in the class method, also in the function module subroutine class method, it is like this. Okay, here you can see that in function module, generally at last, and in beginning it was there, right? And wherever the enhancement point is there, that means the explicit enhancement point is there, there also you can see that this this can be done. I'm not going to save it. Click on this no button. Okay, some subroutine I want to show you. Go to this ABAP editor. This is the include. Fine, no problem. We can, let me close this. I'm just going to close this one. Okay, close. And here you have include, right? I'm just going to search some subroutine. So I'm going to search with perform, right? Subroutine is nothing but it will be called from perform. So I'm going to call some perform, and there I will show you under the standard subroutine, if you want to write your own logic, how you can do with the help of implicit enhancement. In the same way as we have done here, you can see so many perform. So suppose if you come across the requirement, some requirement, if you come across and you identify that under this subroutine you have to write the code. Okay, you have identified by debugging, by putting the breakpoint. Okay, you came to know that if you are going to write some piece of code over here, your work will be done, customer requirement will be met. So under this form and end form, in beginning here also and here also, you will get the option to write the code. Okay, click on this spiral button and then right click, or else you can also click on this edit button, go to the enhancement operation and show implicit enhancement option. And here you can see that here you can write the code, and here also you can write the code. So this is how you can write the code. You know how to do that. Right click over here, enhancement operation, and create implementation, and you can create the implementation, write your code. Okay, You know this one. So implicit enhancement, this is the implicit enhancement, and the explicit enhancement, now I'm just going to tell you. So in implicit enhancement, you have seen explicit enhancement, that means the points will be given there, you will have to write the code. Already the points SAP has provided you the point, there you can write the code. That means there is less risk to write the code. If SAP has given the point over there, that means the risk is less. SAP has taken care the risk, and also that may be the possibility that there sometimes some requirement may come. Okay, so SAP is ready by giving that explicit enhancement point. So you can see that enhancement point spots. One is enhancement point, another is the enhancement section. Okay, there are two. There are two under the explicit enhancement. One is enhancement point, another is enhancement section. If you want to search enhancement section, let's try searching with that, and we will see the difference between them. We'll see the difference between enhancement point and enhancement section. What's the difference between enhancement point? And you can see that at many places the enhancement point and enhancement sections are there, right? So enhancement point and enhancement sections both will come under the enhancement spot. Okay, and wherever SAP has given the spots, there you can write your code. There is a basic difference between enhancement point and enhancement section. What's the difference is that suppose here you have given this enhancement section, and here you are going to implement your code, right? You can see that already either SAP or someone has written this piece of code, right? Already either SAP or someone has written this piece of code, right? It's visible over here. It's visible over here that already this piece of code is written under this enhancement section, right? Now suppose I want to implement my own implementation. In that case, what will happen, that this piece of code will not be called. Only whatever code I am going to write, that will be called. Only whatever the new code will be written by me, that only will be called. Okay, so only one piece of code, only one section of the code is going to be called under the enhancement section. Okay, you cannot call two pieces of the code under one section, but under the enhancement point, this limit is not there. This is not the problem under the enhancement point. If you have the enhancement point, if you have the enhancement point, okay, this is the enhancement point, right? If you have the enhancement point over here, for example, let me erase this drawing. So here you can see the enhancement point you have, right? So if you have this enhancement point over here, and suppose some piece of code is here written, right? Enhancement 3 has been written under this enhancement point. Okay, so some piece of code is written over here. This enhancement 3 will be also there, and my enhancement 4 will also, everything will work. Means it is not like that only one code will work at a time. Okay, means previous code will also work, but under the enhancement section the previous code will not work. So that's the basic difference. Okay, so explicit enhancement, explicit enhancement. So if you talk about the explicit enhancement, in this explicit enhancement you have the enhancement point, and then you have the enhancement section. Enhancement point and enhancement section. Enhancement section means one section only can be implemented. One section can be implemented at one time. One section can be implemented. One section can be implemented at one time. Okay, means only one implementation will be called at one time. Or suppose if I'm going to write my own code, suppose that means all these things is same. Suppose another developer is going to write the piece of code. Another developer is going to write the piece of code under the same section, then the previous code will not work. Then the previous code will not work. I will show you. Okay, fine. Okay, so this is the thing, enhancement section, enhancement point. This enhancement point here, the previous code, multiple implementation, multiple people can write the code, and all the code will be called. Okay, means previous code will be also called. Previous code will be also called. Okay, along with new code. That's the enhancement point. Or this explicit enhancement, this is the two which we have. Let's go to the system over here and how to implement your code over here. Again, for this enhancement point, you'll have to click on this particular enhancement option. Click on this button. Okay, it is showing that you can enhance your code over here. Right click, go to this enhancement operation, and then create implementation. Okay, click on this create button and click on this create z test. Give some description over there, local object, and it is now created, right? And you can see that here you can write the code. So under this enhancement point, this is the enhancement point given by the SAP, and under this enhancement point you are able to write the code. So you can see that it is something like implicit enhancement, right? Here it is something like implicit enhancement, but what's the benefit of this explicit enhancement is that here you can write the code. Here it is giving you the option to write the code. If this point is not there, you will not be able to write this code over here. You cannot be able to use this code over there. That's the benefit of this enhancement point. Means it is not necessary that in beginning and after, only in between also, if this enhancement point is there, you can write your code. So you can write here code. Okay, so it is same as the implicit enhancement only, but the benefit of explicit enhancement is that in between, if subroutine is there, some function module is there, or some class method is there, so not only in beginning or in last, but or in between also we can write this code. That's the benefit. Okay, for this enhancement point, that's the benefit. Okay, fine. I'm going to right click over here and just go to this and undo the implementation. Right click over here once again, come over here, undo implementation. Now it's gone. Just go back. I will not save or I will not do anything. Fine. So this is the enhancement point. Let me show you if somewhere I can give you some valid, uh, a valid use case where we can relate. Okay, so For example, uh, here we can have the multiple places. Here we can have the multiple places. Select this order type CR, go to this debugging, press enter once again, and here this is the module pool program which we are able to see over here. Press F6, 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 F6. So I'm just looking into the flow and I'm just trying to find out if I can show you something interesting over here. I don't have ready some use case with me, so just I'm trying to find out some use case which I can show you. But in real time you will come across for this implicit enhancement in some development project. If you are there working in some development project or support project, such kind of requirement comes very frequently. Okay, so you can see that this is a function module, and suppose if you want to write your own code, then we can write your own code. So what I will do, this is overall overview we are having. What I will do that I will think about some use case. Right now I'm not able to remember any proper use case. I will think about some use case and I will prepare some use case where we can write some code for the implicit enhancement and then for the explicit enhancement. But this is how we do for the implicit enhancement and the explicit enhancement. Okay, and I will share with you. Okay. Now that's that action is on me. I will share with you. I will get some time and try to prepare that content and share with you. But now the turn is to go towards the body. Okay, but to understand the body in detail, business ID. Okay, to understand this body in detail, what actually you will have to know that this body is the oops oriented concept. This is also an enhancement. Here also with the help of body we can implement the code, but it's a oops oriented concept. It's a oops oriented concept. This body is the oops oriented concept. Because this is the oops oriented concept, we should know about something related with oops. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cover the basics of oops in the SAP, and then we will come over here and we'll try to see how with the help of body we can implement. Okay, we can implement the enhancement. Okay, so basics of oops. Basics of oops. Object oriented programming. Object oriented programming. So object oriented, what is this object oriented? What is this object oriented? So what actually in the beginning, like when C was introduced or assembly language was there, that all were using the procedural approach. All they were using the conventional approach. Okay, but gradually with the evolvement of the complex requirement, in case of complex requirement, with the help of procedural approach, the procedural approach is nothing but the approach which we were following till now. Okay, what we have written the program, if you remember, so many program we have written, all we are using the procedural approach. Procedural means we are using subroutine. Okay, we are using subroutine. We are just whenever we require to get something to be done, we created some subroutine and we started looking into that. So some program is here. For example, this is one program. So this program, you can see some select is there. We are going to select some data, right? We are declaring this data. So step by step, this is the first we are going to declare. And wherever I require to, some subroutine, suppose if I want to put this one in a subroutine, subroutine is also known as the procedure. Subroutine is also known as the procedure. Suppose this loop I want to put into the perform statement, I can put under this perform, right? So this approach is known as the procedural approach, where mostly we are going to use the subroutine. Okay, so the normal programming what we do generally is known as the procedural approach. Fine. So here the basics of under the yeah, so the oops why it came, because if you have the complex requirement, in that case if we're going to follow the procedural approach, it is going to take a lot of time to develop the program, and there is also no guarantee that you are going to end up with the correct result. Okay, so it's always recommended, even SAP also recommends that even if you have to write a simple program, we are supposed to write the program in the oops oriented way. Okay, in the oops oriented way. So what's the benefit of this oops? What is the benefit of this oops? The very first benefit is that it provides you the encapsulation packaging. It provides you the packaging, everything you are going to put inside in a package, that is known as the class. Okay, so encapsulation in oops world we tell is a encapsulation, means you are putting together the attributes and methods in a class. Putting together, putting attributes and methods together in a together in the class. Okay, this is the encapsulation. What's the another benefit? Another benefit is inheritance. Inheritance. What is the benefit of this inheritance? We know that what is the see, this oops is object oriented programming concept have is taken from the real time world. Okay, it has been taken from the real time world. Encapsulation is representing your family. Encapsulation is representing your family. Encapsulation is representing your village. Encapsulation is representing your city. Okay, in a city, in a country, everything is going to be put together, right? Inheritance is going to represent the parent child relationship. Okay, so I will take you know all the property from my father. Okay, my kids will take all the property from me. So if you compare with the real time world, you will be able to understand more about the oops with the real time world. Means real time people how is solving their problem. The different area has been divided into the different region called country, right? And there they are having one governor, one PM, and they are ruling in the real time. We have the car, right? We have the truck, we have so many things, we have the shops. So once you start this oops oriented programming, you will be able to understand how you can relate your program with the real time world, and how the real time world is solving their problem. In the same way we are going to solve the programming issue. Okay, so inheritance is nothing but one class, child class, can inherit all the property from its parent class. That is known as the inheritance. Child class is also known as the subclass. Subclass is inheriting the property from the father class, from the main class, from the super class. Okay, so here it is called the super class. Encapsulation, inheritance, and one very important is polymorphism, and that's where our body will fall in. Okay, this body will be used under the polymorphism concept. Polymorphism, what is this polymorphism? Poly means multiple, poly means multiple, different, and morphism means forms. Okay, One thing can take the different forms. One thing can take the different forms. Okay. In real time world, you can see that one girl can play a role of a sister, one girl can play a role of a wife, mother, right? The thing is same, the object is same, but it's going to play the different role in the different environment. Okay. So the polymorphism comes into the picture when the same object is going to play the different role in the different environment. Okay. The same object is going to play the different role in different environment. Obviously, for this we are going to apply the logic, right, to achieve the polymorphism. So to achieve the polymorphism, generally we are going to use the interface. To achieve the polymorphism, generally we are going to use the interface. To achieve the polymorphism, we are going to achieve the polymorphism, we are going to, you know, to achieve the polymorphism, we are going to use the interface, and abstract class also can be used. Abstract class can be also used. So this is the polymorphism. We will see how we can use this one. Then these are some important features we are having in OPS. There can be so many, but these are the important feature in the OPS. In the OPS class, we are going to see when we are going to start our OPS course. In that, we will see some 3 more feature, and there we'll try to discuss each and everything in detail. As of now, this is sufficient. Okay. Now, we will try to create in SAP, there are 2 types of class concept. In SAP, there are 2 types of class concept. One is the global class, one is the global class, and another is the local class. One is the global class and another is the local class. Okay. So one is the global class. This global class is created with the transaction called AC24. Okay. And the local class directly in the program itself we can create. Directly in the program itself we can create a local class. So local class you cannot reuse in another program. Okay. In AC38 directly you can use for your own purpose, like on the fly you can use, right? But it will be only for that particular purpose in that program only. But the global class you can use, you can reuse it. You can reuse it in the multiple program. So reusability is there, reusability feature. It is having reusability. Here in the local class, no reusability. No reusability. But it will not hold the permanent memory, right? This local class means the global class, if it is there, that you can access from anywhere, right? That's the benefit. Local class, no reusability, correct? Here the reusability we are having. This is the main difference which we have. This is the main difference which we have. Now, first we'll see about the global class, okay? And then we'll try to understand this local class, or maybe we will skip this local class. We will see in the course, in the OOPS ABAP course in detail. We will see about this local class. Global class is important one. This much at least we should know. Okay. Go to the transaction AC24. go to the transaction AC24 and create one class ZMB28 class 1 demo class. Click on this create button. Here you can see the two option is showing over here. When you are trying to create a class, one is class, another is interface. So from the same transaction you can create the class and interface both. I'm selecting class as of now. Click on this OK button. Here we can give some description, demo class, and here you can see the instance generation. Instance generation, very, very important. Private, protected, public, and abstract. Private, protected, public, and abstract. Instance generation. Okay. This is also known as the visibility. So suppose if you have a class, so from the visibility point of view, you have three types of class. From the visibility point of view, you have three types of class. Generally, there we have some four it has given, but generally three we are having. One is what? One is public, one is public, another is private, one is public, another is protected, and another, the last one is the private. Okay, so this is what we have, the three we have. Okay, public, protected, and private. What's the meaning of public? Meaning of public means whenever if you are going to create this class, whenever you are going to use this class, so this class can be used in a two-way. Okay, with the help of an object or directly using this class. So what is the object? What is the object? Object is nothing but the instance of the class. Object is nothing but the instance of the class. Object is nothing but the instance of the class. What is the meaning of instance? What is the meaning of this instance? So class is nothing but a template where your attributes and methods are together, right? Once you instantiate your class, one memory will get allocated. One memory area gets allocated where the related attributes and method you can find out. That's the object. Okay, so with the help of object also we can call the method, we can access the attributes, and directly with the help of class also we can do. So directly if we're going to access with the help of class, that class is known as the static class. But if you want to instantiate this class, in that case this class will be known as the instance class. We will see that. As of now, just to understand that object is nothing but the instance of the class. Object is nothing but the instance of the class. Once one class is instantiated, once a class is instantiated, one memory area is allocated where all the attributes and class are present. This is the object. Object is the instance of the class. This is a very important instance of the class. So when you want to create one object, it is depend on, like suppose if you have a program, you have a global class over here, okay, and you have a program. I'm going to write one program, ZMB28 APR report. This is the name of my report. I want to write it over here. Okay, here I want to instantiate the object for this class in my program. If it is public, then only you can instantiate over here. Okay, then only you can use this class over here if it is public. if this class is public, then only you can instantiate the class and you can create the object over here in this report. If it is protected, then only inside the subclass you can instantiate this class. You can instantiate this class only inside the subclass. And if it is private, inside this class only you can instantiate this class. Okay, you cannot use anywhere else. So public means at different places. Also at different places means if you have some program there, if you want to use this class, you must have to make it public at different places. At different places like program, report, etc. Function module, you can use anywhere. Protected, it is only inside the subclass, means child class. Private, only within the same class, only within the same class. That's what the meaning. Here I'm going to choose the public because I want to use in the report. Choose the public over here and remove this final. If you mark it final, this class cannot be inherited further, means you cannot create the subclass using this class, means this class, next generation will not be available. Okay, this class next generation will not be available. This child, you will not be able to create the child of this class. You will not be able to create the subclass of this class if you want to mark it final. I'm going to remove this final because suppose if I want to require the subclass, I can create the subclass. Click on this save button, local object, and come over here, give some method. Okay, so the method here, I want to give, suppose I want to add two numbers. Okay, the method also here you can see that label, right? Press F4. Here it is telling the instance method, static method. It is telling what kind of this method you want to associate with the object or with the class itself, right? So I want to mark it first this as an instance method, so that if I am going to use as a object, with the help of object we'll be able to call this method. Okay, we'll see what is the static and instance method in detail. As of now, I'm just going to select this as an instance method. The visibility, I'm going to mark it a public. Here also, if you are going to mark it as a public, you can use anywhere. Protected only in the subclass, private only within this class. Okay, so I'm going to mark it public. Description, you can give something like that. Similarly, subtract, or give the sub. Let me do one thing. Later we will give the another method and all. This method, if you want to add two number, you would like to get two parameters from outside. So click on these parameters and get the two parameters. Import parameter im value 1, and the type is what? Importing parameter, right? I'm going to take this importing parameter. This is the pass by value. You can see that pass by value, and here you can see that this is the optional parameter. If you don't mark it optional, it will become mandatory, so you must have to pass this. So optional and pass by value, I'm going to both leave as it is. I don't want to do anything with that. Associated type, the same as we do in above. You can use the int1 and im underscore value 2, importing, then int 1, press enter, right? And here ev export value sum, I want to sum and I will get it back. So here you can see that for exporting 1 is the number, right? 1. So either you can select exporting by double clicking over here, returning also you can choose, changing also you can choose based on your requirement. So double click and you can select, or else what you can do, you can directly give 1 over here, right? Why 1? Because 1 is over here for the exporting, right? So I have given 1 over here, and if you press enter, automatically exporting will come, right? You can see that automatically exporting will come. It's giving error at this point of time because here we have not given this type. So give int1, press enter. So this is also can be done. Here you can directly give, in place of importing, you can give the 0, press enter, automatically importing will come. Save it, check it, and activate it. Okay, you can see so many other artifact. One, when you create one class, so many other object is getting created. You can observe here the object type CINC, CINC, CPRI, CPRO, CPUB. These are the different object. When we create a class, automatically gets created. Okay, in backend, so many things happens. Click on this OK button. We don't have to bother about all these things. We should know this concept. That's it. Click on this source code. If you want to write the code, you can click directly on the source code and it will take you to the source code, or you can go to the method once again and double click, it will take you to the source code, and here you can write the code. ev underscore sum is my export parameter, equals to im underscore value 1 plus im underscore value 2, full stop, right? Save it, check it, check the syntax. There is no syntax problem, some error is there. It's telling actually value value, value. Check the syntax. Now activate this one, and it is activated, and we will stop our class over here today. Tomorrow we'll see that how we can call this particular method from a report. We'll create one report and we'll see how we can call this one. So the tomorrow agenda, we have, we'll create a program and call the method and see how it works. We'll also see about the interfaces. This is important to understand the body. Okay, so interfaces we'll see about superclass, subclass, and we will try to complete this basic concept. Okay, and then we'll come again back to the body and we'll try to understand what this body is and how with the help of body we can do the enhancement. If you have any question, feel free to ask, or else we'll go to the assignment part. Okay, if you have any question, please feel free to ask, or you can just message me over here. Fine, I think there is no question. I'm going to the assignment part over here, and what under the assignment you'll have to do that uh, okay, so assignment, you have the, in terms of mainly interview questions, I'm going to give the assignment over here. Okay, customer exit, what we have given, call customer, that's fine. Okay, what you can do that under the customer exit, you can have one more assignment. In this, what you have to do that go to this program /n VA11 or VA01 or XD01. you can just go to this XD01 transaction. Okay, select this person and give some value over here. Give some value over here. And what is our requirement? That here the first name, right? The first name, the mystery you select over here, the first name, some test, and just give some last name, something. This is also some test, something like that. And what you'll have to do, click on the save button. Okay, so once you click on the save button, grouping AN5 has been assigned to any customer account group. Okay, grouping here, this grouping message. So let me do one thing. I'm just going to select. I also don't know how to do all these things, but just I want to get one requirement over here. Click on this save. There is no address for business partner. So it's telling there is no address. It's asking me to give the address. So where to give the address? Let me check if we can give here some address we are supposed to give. Go into change mode. Okay, there is no address for business partner one. Let me do one thing. Once again, I'm going to XD01 person, select this person over here, and business partner, that's fine, leave that one. Create BP role and all this is fine. The last name, first name, this is the mandatory. FN first name, LN last name, and the street, house, and all this communication address. You can see that here this address is there, the street, house number. I'm just going to give A110, postal code and all, something 490001 or 001, test India. Press enter. Postal code must have the length 6. Okay, that's fine. See, SAP has done already validation for this. Okay, so this is fine over here. It's not giving, just you have press enter, right? It's not giving any problem. You can also check over here, check. So if there is any problem here, you can see that grouping ANI5 has not been assigned to any customer account group, right? So let me do one thing, RA01, if I press and check the syntax, and just trying to find. Now you can see that there is no data of business, just I have selected over here. So just what I'm trying to do over here, I want you to create XD01, and here suppose I want to, if I click on the save button now, if I click on the save button now, it will be saved, it will not give any error. But your customer is telling, you can see that business partner is created, this is the customer created 6820. But what your customer is telling, that he wants some particular field, for example, he wants some particular field, for example, this telephone. Your customer is telling, mark this telephone as mandatory. Okay, this telephone in a standard, it is not mandatory. He is telling you to mark this telephone as mandatory. This is also a simple use case, but if you're able to do so, such kind of requirement come very frequently. Such kind of requirement come very frequently, and it's a very valid requirement. Okay, so this is your assignment. You have to mark this telephone as a mandatory. Just try to implement with the help of customer exit. Try to identify where you can put this customer exit for this XD01. If you are not able to do so, I will tell you tomorrow. Okay, just to let me know that you are not able to do, or day after tomorrow. Just put your effort. You may feel little difficult, but try to doing yourself. Try looking my previous videos, 2-3 videos, twice, thrice. See how I have done. Okay, you can identify the package, you can identify the list of the customer exit by going into the transaction S mod, by giving over there the package name. Okay, and make this telephone field as mandatory. Okay, make this telephone field as mandatory, right? So this is the assignment you will have to complete. Okay. So the telephone field you will have to make it mandatory. So go to T code XD01, okay, and try creating one customer. Try creating one customer, okay. Now extra thing what you will have to do, that identify the, so you have to make telephone field as mandatory field, okay. So mandatory field means, you have to show actually like this. If your customer is going to click on the save button, then he should get a top pop-up message, that he should get one error message, that please fill uh, display the message that telephone field is mandatory. Telephone field is mandatory. Please fill. If it is not going to fill, you will have to display the error message, means type E. So message this text and type E. So once you identify the place, there you will have to write this code. So you'll have to create one project, and under that project you will find out one customer exit, means the function module, and there you will have to write this piece of code. Okay, this message and type E. And if you want to display the information most message, type I, you can display. So type E or type I, both is good for me. You can display like this. Okay, so this is the transaction XD01. You can go here, and this particular field I want to mark it mandatory. This particular field I want to mandatory. So please try to do this assignment. If you're able to do, so many concepts will be cleared. Okay, so mark it mandatory, or display the message if it is not filled. Display the message if it is not filled while saving. While saving also fine, or when you click on this check button, right? This check button, if you are going to do at the time of check button also, that is also fine for me. Okay, so here check button is not visible. Once you go into the creation mode, there you will get the check button. Okay, as I was doing. Fine, Control V. So I have just put this one into this instead of copy and paste in everything, I'm just going to paste the required part. Okay, so this is the requirement. Interview question, this is very important. Please do this one without fail. Okay, if you don't do that assignment, that's fine, but from interview point of view, this is very, very important. What is the difference between user exit and customer exit? Very, very important. Okay, what is the difference between C mod and S mod. Okay, how to search the customer exit, how to implement the customer exit. You have to write how to implement the customer exit. You will have to write all the answer and share in the group. Okay, today you do this one. This is mandatory. This is very, very important. So such kind of question will be asked frequently in the interview. Okay, what are the ways, what are the different ways to find out the customer exit, the customer exit, right? So two ways I have just shown you. One is by using by searching the call customer, another is using by what, S mod, and there are some another ways using the SE84. Just try exploring yourself how you can search with the help of SE84, SE85. Okay, or just go into the SCAT, or you can go to the SPRO transaction. So just Google it out. Okay, SE84 is the easy one, you can find it out easily. Try to learn yourself something, you know. Why I'm telling, if you are going to learn yourself, you will be having the better impact. I can teach you, it will take for me 2 minutes 3 minutes to show you, but if you try searching yourself, it will be better. So these two at least you remember every time: call customer and then S mod. SE84 also is the same. Another like SPRO, it can be a little different, but if you want you can learn that. Okay, fine. With this, let's stop our session over here. Or maybe you can create one class also. Class we have seen, right? Create a class. This is optional assignment. If you want, you can do. Tomorrow, this will be mandatory. This one is the very, very important assignment. Okay. Create a public class, public global class. Means SE24 you will have to use as how I have created over here, with a method to multiply two numbers. Okay, so the class which we have created today, if you see over here slash and SE24, this is the class we have created. Click on this display button, and there this is the add. If you want to test it, press F8 over here, and method you can see this particular execute method. Press F8, give this two parameter over here, 10 and 20. Right here also you can test 10 and 20, run this, and you will see that 10 and 20 it's giving 30. So in the same way, if you give 10 and 20, your multiplication result should come, it should give 200. 20 into 10 should be 200. So just create one class having a method called multiply and do this one. With this, let's stop our session over here. Thank you very much for attending this session, and let us meet tomorrow. Bye bye, have a nice day. If you have any question, please feel free to ask, or else we can stop it over here. Okay, fine. I think there is no question. Bye then. Let's meet tomorrow. Have a nice day.